Hey, this is Hena from Bristol, England, and you're watching New Rock City.
Said we are many, strong, we are free. We are the future, so the future's what we want it to be. Well, alright then.
Hey YouTube, welcome back to New Rock City, the show that brings you in-depth and informative interviews and great music videos. I'm your host Stephen Moss, and today's show is going to be special because it's our first time bringing someone back on the show. So for those of you who are watching who might have missed Henna's first appearance, I'll have a link below. He was on Season 1, Episode 2. So Henna, it's great to have you back, man. Thanks so much.
Well, thank you for having me back, man. It's great to see the growth in the channel as well since I was last here.
Oh, thank you. Same to you, man. We'll go into some specifics, but yeah, over the past year, there's been a lot of great things happen for you, your music, and this channel. So it's exciting.
Yeah, definitely, man. Things are on the up.
But first of all, how have you been?
I've been good. Yeah, I've
Nice.
been good. I had a nice, Christmas, New Year's not long ago. Enjoyed all of that stuff. Nice break from normal life, and then just trying to get busy this year. Trying to get back busy, gigging a lot. Obviously, live music's been on its knees a little bit in the last couple of years, so it's been about taking chances where you can get them. So I'm just trying to get busy now, and hopefully lots of music coming this year. How are you doing? How's things with you?
Doing well, man. Can't complain. Very excited. Lots of stuff coming up on the horizon. I wanted to get into it by talking about one major milestone for me and for New Rock City is I'm going to be turning New Rock City into a music festival. And we'll be coming to different cities and different countries all throughout 2022. And one of the coolest shows is going to be a 2-day show in London, England on July 29th and 30th. At a venue called the Black Heart. Henna, you're going to be one of the artists playing, so thank you so much for agreeing to come to that show.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me, man. It's going to be great. I'm sure it's a cool bill. I've been checking out the other acts on the bill. Obviously, a lot of them I'm familiar with from your interviews with them.
Yeah, definitely.
Looks like a great show, and a great venue too. The Camden is one of the coolest parts of London. Always has been. Don't know how much you know about the area, but it's very trendy. Camden Market is very famous.
Yeah, there's a channel on YouTube that I watch where a guy basically just straps a GoPro and walks around Camden. And it seems like a really cool city, very artsy, a lot of like punk shops and just really, really cool vibe. I can't wait to go.
Yeah, it's definitely a cool spot to pick for your first London show that you're putting on. And the Black Heart's a nice venue as well. When you announced that it was going to be there, I was excited because I haven't played there in a very long time, but I played there like 10 years ago in my first ever band.
Oh, nice.
Hardcore punk band called The Disfigured out of Exeter. We went and played a show in the Black Heart when we were probably like 16, 17, going up on the coach, we went on a mega bus together. Didn't have anywhere to stay, so we slept on the coach station floor all night.
Oh, wow.
It was very, very DIY, but it was really good fun. So it's a nice memory. So it'll be fun to get back in that room.
Oh, very cool. Now, as far as this show, we have it spaced out so we'll have like 16 bands, maybe like 45 minutes to an hour for each set. 2-day show. It's going to be a lot of fun. I want to get into your music though, because since the last time I saw you, you put out a new EP called Desperation Demos Volume 3. How does that EP differ from the previous two?
Oh, one of the main things is there's been such a huge space in time between the last one and this one. So the first two EPs in that series came out within probably 6 months to a year of each other. Back when I was just starting doing the solo thing, very much still learning to play guitar, and I'm still, always learning. But at that point, very even more rudimental guitar skills. Yeah, and it was a real I was really putting everything together for the first time. Whereas now we're a few years removed from that. My focus moved on to other things. So I had a band that I was working with during that time as well. So the solo thing became very much like a backup, like side project. And then I parted with that band, went back to my solo stuff as a focus. So this has just been I think the songs on this EP are better constructed. There's more to them. And like the last one before this, EP number 2, was all political content, whereas this one is a lot more personal again, kind of going back to the themes of the first one. I write a lot of songs about politics and current affairs and social issues, but I also just, write songs because I write songs, just about what's going on in my life. And so this last EP was much more a move back in that direction. And then I think the next one, which I'm working on, is going to be a move back towards the political kind of folk, maybe more typical folk punk.
Very nice. I'm going to play a song off that EP called I'm Well, What can you tell us about that song?
Oh, so that's a song I've had for ages, and I finally recorded it.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and so the recording is it's all one take. And pretty much the whole EP was done like that. It's super, you know, simple, minimalist by design. As much as I was saying the songs are better constructed than on the early material, early EPs, which I think they are. The actual recording itself is all done really in a simple, kind of straightforward manner by my guy Tady from the band Cast Courts, who produced the EP, who also produced the second one as well many years ago. And so yeah, so I'm Well's a really short, snappy little punk rock song about. I was years ago when I wrote it. I was being a therapist briefly on the NHS for like national health service. I don't know, didn't click with her very well, and then came home all frustrated from being told to take medication I didn't want to take, and all the things therapists tell you to do, read patronizing books. And so I just bashed out a little punk song about it, and didn't really think I'd do much with it because it's such an odd thing. There's no repeating chorus. It doesn't really have any hooks, as it were. It kind of just goes straight through with a lot of information. So I didn't really think anyone would care, but people took to it, and it's become a bit of a favorite. So nice to finally get it recorded.
Well, right on. So I'm gonna play that one. So here's "I'm Well" by Hena.
When I wake up, the first thing I do is take my meds to make sure that the best that doesn't happen again. Doctor said I'm fine, but I should fill in forms about my scary dreams for the next time we meet. But we always meet at her work, and she never comes to my shows. So I'm starting to suspect that her friendliness is purely professional. And I wonder if she wonders how I'm feeling when I get home, cause I'm wondering about her wondering at the moment. And I think I'll never go to see her again. I'll just talk to my actual friends, because I'm well, I'm on the mend. Yeah, I'm better than I've ever been. And if we never go to sleep, we'll never have bad dreams, and the good days will never end. I said I'm well, I'm on the mend. Oh, I'm better than I've ever been. And if we never go to sleep, we'll never have bad dreams, and we'll never see the doctor again. The diagrams in her book patronize me, and that anger isn't good for my psyche. She keeps talking about depression, anxiety, but I only feel like me. And sometimes the voices are loud, all alone I feel lost in a crowd. But they co-write my songs and they always sing along, so who am I to turn on them now? So I tore up the book she's prescribing, and I flushed all her pills to Poseidon. And I'll be okay, just living my way, as long as I got punk songs to hide in. If she really wants to see where I go, she can come to my fucking shows.
And welcome back to the show, everyone. So the first time that we spoke, it was actually during lockdown, and there was no shows, but now things are different. And in fact, you have a show coming up on January 28th where you open for the Anti-Nowhere League. That's pretty amazing, man. How'd that come about?
Yeah, that's a cool one. It's weird, actually. So it's happening at the Exeter Cabin, which is like kind of my hometown venue. It's where I run my Wreckage punk rock shows that I run, and which I've been doing for a few years. And I played on that stage many times over the years. It's kind of really where I learned my craft, if I have learned a craft. Is where I've tried anyway. Yeah, so Noah Lee coming there is a big deal for us. We don't get that many big name punk acts coming all the way down to Exeter these days. And originally I got booked to play it. I got booked to play it acoustically, and then I'm starting a new band. So then I talked to the promoters and swapped my booking to being with the band. And then the other support act pulled out. So now I'm playing it acoustically, and then I'm playing with my band, and then it's Anti-Nowhere League.
That's
so
awesome.
I'm just monopolizing all the good support slots in Exeter on my own.
That's really cool.
Yeah, so that's going to be fun. Hopefully people will like at least one of the sets. They're quite different, so they'll either like the acoustic thing I'm doing with my mate Ryan, or they'll like the band Brainspill. Yeah, so it's going to be cool. I'm excited for that. I know League are a band I've been a fan of for a while. I saw them years ago playing on one of the best punk shows I've ever seen. Actually, it was in Plymouth, and it was UK subs, Anti-Nowhere League, Motorhead, which is a really stacked bill. So yeah, I'm excited to get to share station.
Nice. But can you tell them where it's going to be, what time?
Yeah, sure thing. So it's taking place at the Exeter Cabin on the 28th of this month, January 2022. Doors 7:30. Price, I think it's like 12 quid, but the tickets are close to sold out already. So if people see this and they're interested, I would get on that, which is also really cool personally for me, because like I said, I've been playing that venue a long time. It's not a big room. It's a 220 capacity room, and that's what it says, but that seems like a stretch. Honestly, it's probably about 200 if you'd ask me. You know, I've played that many times, and I've never played it properly sold out. I've played some pretty busy, good punk shows. So like 10 years of doing that, you know, and trying to do it kind of on my own shows and building up my own brand, which is going all right. It goes well in fact, the next Wreckage shows, but to be able to do it, you know, to come in and just support like a big act who already have a big draw and play to their audience is a real privilege, and I'm excited to get involved with that.
That's really cool, man. Congratulations on that.
Thanks, dude. Yeah, cool.
I'm going to play another song off your new EP. This one is called Drinking Alone. What can you tell us about that one?
That one's more recent. That was written during lockdown because that was all there was to do, for like a year and a half. And it was just just that thing of like accepting your isolation, I suppose, not necessarily like isolation in the kind of COVID sense, but just accepting that your place in a room on your own when you get a bit down and just drink on your own, so that's the whole thing. It's like everyone in here loves me or everyone in here hates me, but everyone in here is just me at the end of the day, so it doesn't really matter because it's just whatever my perspective is it might as well be the global one because you're in a room on your own anyway, so it's just about that. And I've had a few battles with alcohol over the years, which I don't shy away from, so it's just I've got a lot of material that talks about alcohol. I love it.
Oh, very nice, man. So here is Drinking Alone by Hena.
Everyone in this room fucking loves me. I think that that's enough as I'm drinking alone. Throw me a bone and I'll throw it back. I've been isolating myself, it has not been good for my health. I've been focused on my failing, cause I feel myself derailing. And the cracks in the ceiling, a reflection of my feeling as the wallpaper's peeling in the room that I am sealed in. They say it's for my safety. Oh, everybody in here hates me. Everyone in this room fucking hates me. I think that's reason enough to be drinking alone. Throw me a bone and I'll throw it back. Yeah. My future's gone begging just like my past. If I can't be in first, then I'll be out last. I lie on my bed and lie to my love each time I say I'm doing good. And I'm surrounded by empty tins of promised joy, obscure inside of all I wanna avoid. I swear I'll change, I swear I'll change. She's sure that I'm lying again. Everyone in this room fucking loves me, but everyone in the room fucking hates me. Everyone in the room's fucking crazy as I'm drinking alone. Everyone in the room fucking loves me, but everyone in the room fucking hates me. Cause everyone in the room's fucking crazy as I'm drinking alone. Everyone in the room fucking loves me. Everyone in this room fucking hates me. Everyone in the room's fucking crazy as I'm drinking alone.
All right, and welcome back to the show, everyone. Do you have any other shows coming up that you want your fans to know about?
So I'm planning one next week when we're filming this, but I think when this comes out, it will actually have just happened.
Okay.
But I'm playing another show with my acoustic thing with me and Ryan. Obviously, I got your thing coming up in the summer that I look forward to. But at the moment, the focus is really going to be on recording for the solo thing because I've got most of the material ready for this next EP. So I want to record something with Ryan, who also plays the second guitar on Fiending. And he's in the video and plays on the song Class War as well on YouTube. So people who know my stuff will know who he is. So I want to get a full record out of him because he's going to be moving away possibly close to the summer. We're not sure yet. So trying to get an EP of like say the political stuff, locked down with him is my next priority, I think. And then also working on the new band.
Very nice. Now you also had some other pretty cool achievements during 2021. I wrote one down that I thought was neat. Your music was streamed in 18 countries. That's pretty sweet, man. That's got to make you feel kind of proud to see it grow.
Yeah, I want to release an EP and get it heard in 19 countries, and then I want to work my way. No, that's really cool. Stats like that are always kind of crazy to me because you see the number and it's like, and to some people that stat would be really unimpressive as well. Like it's all relative, I'm sure, but to me that's crazy because it's not that long ago that I was playing to 18 people in my hometown.
Yeah.
So the idea that there's 18 people anywhere listening to my music is crazy, and then when you spread them across the world and adding the others, it's a huge compliment. I'm trying to just get really active with releasing stuff this year. So yeah, there will be an EP this year, almost definitely. There will hopefully be some material from the band coming out this year as well. There will probably be some standalone singles as well, I think. I mean, I released a single and an EP last year, and that was in a year with everything being slowed down with lockdowns and stuff. So hopefully without that, I can do even more this year. And then also I'm really pushing releasing more content on YouTube. I think this is probably the best place for music right now. So trying to move more content over to YouTube. So I'm now releasing something every Wednesday, hopefully for the whole year. We will see. There's a chance that, you might drop off on that as time goes on, but that's the new thing. So yeah, new EP at some point, definitely, but new music every week.
That's awesome. So, in that same line of talking about your achievements, on your third EP, there is a song called Achievements, which I will play. What can you tell us about that song?
So this one's heavily related to I'm Well. They were written at the same kind of time. So those two songs were written a few years ago. And then the other two. The thing with Achievements is it's again, it's the same thing. It's actually the same therapist I was seeing. I was only seeing her for like, I appreciate medical health professionals, don't get me wrong. But just, didn't click with me at least. She just had this very patronizing way of talking the whole time. She would just go, well done, you haven't jumped off a bridge today. Or I don't know exactly how she would say it, but she always does things like, you're doing so well because you're not dead. And I found that so patronizing. So that's what this song is. I've crossed this bridge so many times and I've never jumped, not even once,
That's awesome. Well, very cool. So for those at home, here's Achievements by Hena.
I've crossed this bridge so many times, I've never jumped, not even once. I've crossed this bridge many times, I've never jumped before. I've crossed this bridge so many times, I've never jumped, not even once. Crosses my mind every time, but I'm still alive. Achievement. Are you proud of me? Are you? I'm worried I'll stress you out, I'm worried I'll let them out, won't be able to put it right. I'm worried I'll die tonight, I'm a pacifist punk, I'm a drunk, I'm a cunt, I'm a drug user, a beggar and a chooser. I'm a freak, I'm a loner and a loser. Somehow I got the girl of my dreams, I'm trying not to kill myself. Are you proud of me? Are you? Cause I crossed this bridge so many times, I've never jumped, not even once. I've crossed this bridge many times, I've never jumped before. I've crossed this bridge so many times, I've never jumped, not even once. Crosses my mind every time, but I'm still alive. Achievement. Are you proud of me? Are you? Went one whole year without a drink, that kind of thing would help you think. Yet still the lower I sink. Don't enjoy talking to my shrink, so sorry if I missed your call. I'm busy staring at the wall, trying to see a way out, trying to see a better way. I'm a pacifist punk, I'm a drunk, I'm a cunt, I'm a drug user, a beggar and a chooser. I'm a freak, I'm a loner and a loser. Somehow I got the girl of my dreams, I'm trying not to kill myself. Oh, I'm trying really hard. Are you? I crossed this bridge so many times, I've never jumped, not even once. I've crossed this bridge many times, I've never jumped before. I crossed this bridge so many times, I've never jumped, not even once. Crosses my mind every time, but I'm still alive. Achievement. Achievements.
All right, and welcome back to the show, everybody. In addition to the EP, you also put out a new single called Fiendin', and the style I thought was very captivating because it was so different than your other songs that you have, on Apple Music. How did that song come about?
It was just one of those, again, in that probably maybe just before the lockdowns, I think. So it feels like everything is pre or post lockdown now, right?
Yeah.
The measurement of time. So I think it must have been just before that. And I was just trying to experiment with different stuff. I write quite varied music, really. And I think people have an assumption that, because for obvious reasons, that I just play like punk rock, which is, I love punk rock, clearly. But I do try and experiment and write in a lot of different styles. And I do spoken word and I just like writing. So I just write all sorts of different things. And yeah, and this was a song that doesn't sound typical of my stuff. It's quite hard to get in the set a lot of the time, honestly. Like, I'm not going to play that when I'm supporting the anti-Nero League. Just take the mood down a little bit too much, I think. But yeah, it's a pretty little song, and again, it's got Ryan, my friend Ryan Alsop, on second guitar, and he has like a background. He likes a lot of country stuff, and he was really interested in trying to use his slide. So we got the electric slide guitar stuff going on. Yeah, it's just a moody little piece, I think. I don't know. It's nice to put out something different. And the thing with that I was maybe most happy with actually was the artwork for that was done by my friend Brett Spencer, who from Plymouth, who also did the artwork for the EP. And he has just absolutely killed it on both of those. I think the way he's design. That front cover looks brilliant. He probably managed to sum up the mood of it. And also it was produced by a friend of mine called Yush, who does typically more like hip hop and electronic music production. So it was his first time working with live instrumentation, and I think that gave it a really unique tone to it, because I think if I had taken that to one of my punk producers or more rock oriented people, it would have probably come out sounding more like a scratchy folk punk song. But
Gotcha.
Someone from a different field, I think it came out sounding, like you say, quite different to a lot of my material.
Yeah, it was very, very cool, very unique, but in a good way. I really liked it.
Thanks, man. Yeah, it made it onto some softer side of folk punk playlist. So I think that's where it sits, on the softest possible side of folk punk.
Very cool. So I'll play that for the folks at home. So here's Fiendin' by Hena.
Been caught up on the wrong side of the tracks too many times. Now they're running up your arms. You're running out of lines. Been relying on that quick talk. Now they're coming with their pitchforks. Monsters on the loose. You're swaying like a noose. Oh, 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 how the mighty fall. Blood in a bathroom stall. Junkie see, oh junkie do. I always thought of more for you. Junkie see, oh junkie do. Now your death wish coming true. It must have looked so glamorous in your mind, in your mind, in your. It must have looked so glamorous in your mind. Sun, I sober up. Distant memories dance in my cup. All my habits I just swap. Now I'm fiending for your love. I'm fiending for your love, my darling. I ain't gonna go. I'm fiending for your love, my darling. Come build a home for me to burn in for your love, my darling. I ain't letting go. I'm fiending for your love, my darling. Come we build a home for me to burn.
And welcome back to the show, everyone. You recently started a band called Brainspill. Can you tell us a little more about that band?
Yeah, so the band, we're called Brainspill. We're a hardcore punk band. I would say we sound like Black Flag's first EP, because I think that's about as good as hardcore punk gets. Yeah, it's really fun. I've missed it. I've missed playing loud, fast punk rock. I mean, this is the shit I listen to. I'm obsessed with the new Turnstile record that came out last year. I've always been very big on hardcore. And it's cool because I mentioned earlier that I played in a band 10 years ago called Disfigured, and we played at the Black Heart all those years ago. Well, the guitarist from that band is also the guitarist in this band.
Oh, cool.
my brother Josh, one of my closest friends, and a very, very talented punk musician. It's great to work with him again. I got a dude called Will Squire on drums, who played in a bunch of the local kind of scene bands in around Bristol and Exeter. Plays on a lot of my bands that play Wreckage. So it's really a coming together of, I basically picked my favorite local musicians and asked them if they want to be in a band with me, and got really lucky because they said yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's just a really fun. We're not trying to do anything too, at least at the beginning. I mean, things will develop and will grow, I'm sure. But to start out, I would just, it's loud fast, done like it should be.
Right on. Well, you had mentioned that on your next show on the 28th, you're going to be playing like double duty solo and with these guys. So maybe we can get you to do the same thing in London. We'll have you just play, all night.
I'm working towards being able to be a whole bill for the musicians. So if you need a poetry set, an acoustic set, and a full band, I'm going to get like a ska band or something so I can play that as well.
Yeah.
The whole British pop scene would just be me in like hundreds of projects.
So we have a 2-day show. We'll just do a 3rd-day show, and like the 3rd day is all you.
Brilliant. My girlfriend will for sure.
So I have a video from your new band called 10 Years Wasted. What can you tell us about that song?
So I actually wrote this on an acoustic guitar.
Oh, really?
Yeah. This was written in my last house. It was just So I said earlier I have an interesting relationship with alcohol, and that means that I take big periods of drinking heavily and have massive periods off because I'm not very good at moderating it. So I didn't drink for like 2.5 years, and then I drank for a year, then I had a year on, year off, and I've kind of been doing roughly year on, year off
Gotcha.
for the last few years. And so currently I'm enjoying it. Not right now, not this moment, but in a general sense. So I was doing my 3rd year of uni last year, and I had loads of work to do for that, and it was the lockdowns, and I was like, if I just stay, kind of feeds off drinking alone, really. It's like, if I just stay in this room drinking, this is all I'm going to do, because there's nothing to really stop me, because there's nothing making me get up and go to work or anything, because it's all lockdown.
Gotcha.
I took the whole year off drinking instead, which went very well, and I got all my stuff done that I need to do. But so I just wrote that song. I was just feeling very tempted to start drinking again one day, so I wrote the song 10 Years Wasted, because I realized I'd spent most of the last 10 years getting messed up. Not that I regret it, like I said in the song, like we had some wild nights, like there's so many highlights, like they were good experiences, and I like alcohol and I like partying, but it was just a little song really to remind myself of the balance of it, of what it actually is,
Gotcha.
That explanation is a lot deeper than the song itself is, I think.
Well, very cool. So for those at home, here's the video for 10 Years Wasted by Brainspill.
This song's called 10 Years Wasted. Wasted, out every day in, they took away to me, they can't get away from me, trying to get away from me, 10 years wasted, they're hesitating, they're hesitating, for hesitating, 10 years wasted, 10 years wasted, it was the greatest, we had some wild nights, so many highlights, maybe I don't know them, they left me broken, but 10 years wasted. 10 years wasted, 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 10 years wasted.
All right, and welcome back to the show, everybody. So, going along with the multiple music acts that you perform, you also do spoken word poetry, and I wanted to play your newest one called Gray Skies. What can you tell us about that?
So I got involved in the poetry kind of by accident. It's always awkward because people say that you do poetry, and then people always, not always, but often follow up by going, "Oh, who are your favorite poets?" And the answer is like, I don't know. I don't really read a lot of poetry. I really like some of Henry Bolden's poems. I've got some of his books, but that's a kind of cop-out punk rock answer.
Yeah.
I don't really engage with poetry at all. I've done some performances at like poetry things, like on a poetry stage at a festival, and like the other guys always seem nice enough, but like I don't really care about it. But I write a lot. I just write things constantly. I write lyrics. I was literally writing songs before we did this call.
Oh wow.
Concert for the new band. If you hear a song called Five Eyes in Brainspill, then I wrote it directly before this.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, so I'm constantly just writing stuff. I also write like bits of fiction and things that no one even knows about that I don't put out into the world. So the poetry was just another extension of that. It was just like sometimes I got a lot of lyrics, and I don't really feel like either I can't create the musical accompaniment that they require, or I think they'd be more poignant without like a guitar riff underneath it or something. And that ended up being my poetry, and I never really thought too much of it. I just put the odd thing onto social media, and then I had a poem called "This Is England 2019" a couple of years ago, obviously, and people really liked it and people really took to it, and I started incorporating it into my acoustic set and closing some sets with it. And there's a video of that on YouTube from when I used to perform that. But that really got over with people and really got people interested in the poetry side of things. So I thought I would start trying to make that a more regular part of, now that I'm doing these regular uploads onto YouTube, make that more of an part of what I'm doing. So yeah, Grey Skies is one of those. It's written again kind of around lockdown, the view from my window, because I couldn't go outside the house, just what England really looks like, you know, kind of grey and gloomy and a bit negative, probably a bit more outlook, but maybe I was just having a bad day, I don't know. But it's just a poem.
All right, so I'll play that for the guys at home. So here is Grey Skies by Hena.
Grey skies over English terrace houses. The sun comes out and the rain comes down and nothing else ever really changes. Washing line flagpole rearrangement. A little new graffiti on the back street wall doesn't say much, just some kid's name scrawled. These days the end of everything just feels so close that having nothing left to leave is what we fear the most. Grey slabs of English council housing. The concrete reverberates the sound of a distant disagreement, meaning caught up in the cement. Like a screeching sermon, sirens go by en route to a more eventful time of a life. Grey expressions on a tired population, sold fear for so long that thoughts of hope are exacerbating. It's a waiting game of wait and see, but the prize all too regularly seems to be misery. Umbrellas at the ready in the street light lit night, as darkness consumes our once grey skies and the heavens open. There'll be hell to pay for those below with no shelter today, and the homeless shiver, but it's okay because it isn't happening to us. It's cold like the country and harsh like the rain, and it's so much easier to think we're not the same, as the national mood is so poorly disguised, hanging over us all in the grey English skies.
All right, welcome back to the show. Hena, it was really great to see you again, man. I can't wait to see you actually perform live in London. And I kind of wanted to wrap this up with the same way I do all my shows, which is just asking, what would you like to say to your fans?
I would just like to say, well, let's say thank you to you for having me on here again.
Definitely.
And forward to that London show. And just thank you to anyone who spends their time listening to what I'm doing, paying attention to the things that I do, because I create very naturally. I really enjoy it. It's when I'm happiest, is when I'm writing songs or poetry or performing into people. And the idea that anyone would pay attention to that makes me feel very privileged and fortunate. And I know that's like cliche and worn out, but it's true. Because I'd be doing this stuff regardless, and I have been doing this stuff regardless. If no one's watching, I'm still writing the songs, and I'm still going to be putting them out somewhere in the world. So if anyone takes the time to be interested in that, that's really cool, and I really appreciate it. And that they should get in touch with me, because I want feedback, and I want, people go, oh, I really like this poem, or oh, I really like this song, then I'll make more of that stuff. Because I have hundreds of songs. I have way more material than anyone knows. I have the ones I play live and the ones that go on YouTube, but I have hundreds of songs and poem ideas. So always developing and being worked on. So chances are if someone goes, oh, I really like the hardcore fast punk stuff you're doing with Brainspill, then I can churn out like a bunch of those. So I have them. Or if they go, I really like your spoken word, I can make more. I can put out more of the spoken word, So feedback is super welcome. And then just thank you.
That's awesome, man. And so for those at home, I will have a link where you can follow Hena's social media. You can keep up to date with him, and where you can also keep up to date with the shows from New Rock City. New concerts we'll be going to, new cities, new countries. So yeah, man, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thanks, dude.